Fresh off one of the most boring Super Bowls in the history of the National Football League, World of Matchups is back. Bringing you guys the heat, as always. We are here. Dexter Reid, Spencer the Wiz. Talking about the Combine and the craziest free agency week that we have seen in some time. Coming to you guys live and direct from not Las Vegas, Nevada. We're here to bring the heat. Spencer, good morning. How are you? It's been a couple weeks.
That's good. It's good to get a little break in, but it's time. The scouting process has begun, so sometimes you just got to clear your head, and now it's all steam ahead. I mean, this is pretty much going to take us to the NFL season. There's going to be so much insanity. The draft alone is going to take up a couple months. So
yeah,
and then it's my
excited.
favorite day of the year, which is the NFL draft. I love doing that live show with you. It's my favorite event every year. I look forward to it so much. It's so fun doing that.
And it's going to be even more exciting for you this year because you got a real dog in the fight. You know what I mean? It's going to be fantastic. So I'm going to follow your lead. Guys, there's a lot of information. This is going to be a longer show. You know, we're not going to break it up into pieces. You can just follow along as you want because there is a lot of movement that happened literally from the minute the clock struck on Monday. And it's still going. There's still quite a few free agents out there that guys are willing to sign. It's just a matter of time before they find teams. Set it off, man.
Yeah, we'll go by NFL top 100 list here. And probably the best way to do it. Was Malik Willis really the number one free agent? Or I guess this is just by quarterback, so fair enough. It's kind of a head scratcher to me, to be honest with you. I understand it from Malik Willis' standpoint. He gets a starting gig. I don't know really where else he could have gotten that necessarily. Everywhere else, I think he could have went. Realistically, he would have been competing for the job. There's really no one in Miami. The optics are just so strange to me, to be honest. And I know Tua is not very good, but to cut him, to take $100 million dead cap, and then just to sign Malik Willis like he's going to come in and fix your problems. It's just, to me, it's very indicative of the Miami Dolphins. I think I actually saw a stat of they are paying half of their book salary to players that are no longer on their team. And so then they sign him to, I mean, considerably a cheap deal. But, dude, you say this all the time, but if Malik Willis is the answer, then what was the original question here for the Miami Dolphins? I would have just, I'd rather eaten some more of Tua's contract and gone on to it next year. I don't think this is going to be a part of the process building up Malik Willis as the franchise quarterback for Miami Dolphins here. I would be genuinely shocked if that was the truth.
Take whatever the Dolphins under is next year when the sports books they've probably already placed it. You know, it'd be interesting to see what it is. I'm probably thinking it's going to be under 5. I'm not a big Malik Willis fan. I don't understand how the guy is really going to be an NFL starter. If you take away his legs, the guy is absolutely useless. He throws maybe 8 to 10 passes a game. 6 of those passes are wayward. Green Bay can make a lot of people look good with a strong run game, and they do have that there in Miami, but they're going to be in a lot of shootouts. Their defense is not that good. Free Jalen Waddle. I mean, it's just not a good situation. I mean, to keep Tua would have been bad, but to bring Malik Willis over like, you know, he's the second coming of Joe Montana, to me, it's equally as bad. This is a franchise that really is not going anywhere. They're not really trying to go anywhere. It's obvious. They're pretty much gutted. And this is what happens, guys, when you take a shot on a quarterback that's fairly average. The dead cap at the end of it is going to kill your squad if you don't do anything with this guy. And he's, you know, I mean, look at what Atlanta is giving to her. I mean, literally, it's a one-year deal. It's the vet min. And he's getting paid from Miami. I mean, you want to talk about a win-win. I mean, we clown Tua, but that guy's laughing all the way to the bank. It's a sad situation, quite frankly, and Miami is done for all intents and purposes for, I say, 3 to 5 years. We're not going to waste much time on Malik Willis. I mean, he might be good for fantasy purposes, but this is real life we're talking about. We're talking about winning chips. It ain't happening in Miami anytime soon.
Yeah, this is the other big news that came out from the quarterback position. Kyler Murray ends up going to the Minnesota Vikings. A really smart move and truthfully a very lucky move when it comes to the Minnesota Vikings because they were in full desperation mode. I mean, they had quite literally like nothing going for them at the quarterback position. They made they made a monumental mistake on letting a Super Bowl winning quarterback moonwalk out of their building for nothing. And they were left with a guy who couldn't play quarterback. I mean, I think J.J. McCarthy had maybe 3 good quarters of football. And so they were already hitting the panic button. And now a guy who I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray fan, but I think this is going to be really good for him. This is just the reclamation center for quarterback team. If he's ever going to be successful, it's going to be here. And I think that they're going to get into a situation where he has a good season and he ends up just staying. And the Vikings are going to try to right their wrongs in a sense. I actually think this is one of the better moves of the offseason. Kind of low key in a sense. I don't really know it. I kind of feel the same way as I do with the Miami Dolphins. Like, did you really need to cut Kyler Murray? Because now they have like Jacoby Brissett and like I think they signed Gardner Minshew. Yeah, is that really the solution? I mean, if you're trying to tank, I suppose. But I hate the way that they're passing it off as like we want to reshape the quarterback room. You know, it's like if you have a little shame, why don't you? If you're going to start Gardner Minshew for a year, you know you're going to be going straight to the bottom. They want to get a good quarterback next year, so I guess this is really just insurance. They cut him, and I think you're going to see a pretty big resurgence in Minnesota. They're primed for it. Their team is good. They just had such horrible quarterback play. It ruined their season last year. So good for the Minnesota Vikings here.
Yeah, it's a good move for the Vikings here for a lot of reasons. I mean, they might as well get rid of J.J. McCarthy. You know, dead that guy on money and send him packing because that guy sucks. I mean, he does, man. I'm sorry. He was just a handoff merchant at Michigan, and it all came into fruition. The guy can't stay healthy. Get him out. Kyler Murray going to the Minnesota Vikings makes perfect sense. You got Jets. You got Hawkinson. They lose Naylor, but that's not a huge loss. They have very good players, very good players. They bring back Aaron Jones. Their running game is solid. And this is a place where he can thrive, man. You know what I mean? And the problem that the Vikings are going to have now is that there is a no trade clause, I believe. And so he'll have a resurgent year, and they can't dead him on money. They're going to have to give him a deal or he'll walk. And so I think Kyler Murray's the real winner here because Arizona is still paying him like a lot of money to not play, which is wild to me. I don't understand how these teams do this, man. We're paying you to not coach. We're paying you to not play. Dude, you should be using that money to get somebody in there that's going to help you win a Super Bowl. But, you know, situational football happens, and sometimes you just got to eat money. And Kyler Murray's in the driver's seat now. He's in a team that can actually excel. I think the Minnesota Vikings were very underwhelming. They just didn't have good quarterback play. And he's going to be galvanized to get back in this league and show people he can still ball. Dude, Kyler Murray's only 28. You know what I mean? It's not like he's ancient. He hasn't played a full season in 5 years, and so they're going to be looking to see that from him. And I think because they let Darnold walk, they're not going to want to make that same mistake again. And so I think Kyler Murray is going to get paid. He's going to become like the black Kirk Cousins here. If he has a good year, he's going to get some more money, man. And I think it's pathetic, honestly, because I don't think he's really that good, but he's really not that bad. He's better than JJ. That much I know. And so landing the purple people leaders with some talent and a great offensive mind isn't you could do a lot worse. So kudos to Kyler Murray and his agent.
Absolutely. I don't think there's too much else left to talk about in the quarterback position. Kirk Cousins is still out there. I think he's actually going to sign with the Raiders. That's my prediction.
Yeah, Kirk O'Chains is in Vegas right now.
Oh, really?
In Vegas. Yeah, Rob the Raider told me that there was some reports that he was seen here in Vegas, which, you know, if you get Kirk O'Chains in here to tutor, you know, Fernando Mendoza and sprinkle in a little Tom Brady, I mean, to me, that's for all intents and purposes every bit as good as Alex Smith, you know, giving Patrick Mahomes a 1 year, you know, come under my wing, let me show you the ropes. I mean, Kirk O'Chains is, when he's right, he's right. You know what I mean? It's not like the guy's had a bum career. He's old now, and he's made a lot of money, and he's a good, solid Christian dude that's never going to take you to the promised land. But that's not, you know, the Raiders don't need you to go to the promised land right now. The Raiders need you to help us build from the ground up. And right now we got the basement. With the draft, we're going to get the door and the doorknob. with some free agents, we'll get a couple windows, and in a few years, we're gonna have a roof with a chimney. And so I'm loving what they're doing. And if they sign him, I think that's gonna be brilliant. Quite frankly, it'll be the cherry on top.
Yeah, I'm on the fence on whether or not I want Mendoza to start the first year. But if it was someone like Kirk Cousins, I'd be pretty. Even for a half year, it doesn't really matter. Whatever the case ends up being. And I think Kirk Cousins had a pretty strong end of the year, so I think he'd be pretty effective in Clint Kubiak's offense. Pretty cool.
I'm in the
Aaron
minority here, where I feel like the incoming rookie quarterback should always start. I just think he should start, man. I think that's just the best way to learn. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I just keep remembering Peyton Manning, and they let him get eaten alive. But when he came out the second year, he was ready, because there's stuff that you just can't learn not being on the field. And if this guy is going to be the Vegas savior, let him be the Vegas savior day one. I don't know. That's my take on it.
Aaron Rodgers isn't worth our time. He's going to be doing his dance all off season. And then Tua. I think Tua is probably the last piece of the puzzle here from the quarterback position. Man, the Atlanta Falcons are such a horribly run team.
Terrible.
I mean, really
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
They
got two left-handed quarterbacks that suck now.
Their insurance for
free Drake London
is another one.
Free Drake London and put him on a team that can get that boy the ball 100 times. I mean, come on.
I don't think they should have fired their coach. I think they're doing everything wrong. Yeah. I mean, I like who they hired, so don't get me wrong. The optics are weird when you go on a winning streak at the end of the season. Your quarterback position's an absolute mess.
It's a mess.
And and then you just signed Tua to fix your problems. It's just, what does camp look like? Is Michael Penix just the unabashed starter on this team?
It's going to be an open quarterback competition when both quarterbacks are healthy, which will probably be never. Free Bijan Robinson too, man. These guys deserve better.
If Tua was smart, he would have went to the 49ers or something, truthfully.
Spencer, no one wants him. No one wants him. No one wants Tua.
I think someone would have taken him as a backup vet minimum.
I'd take him as my backup quarterback. That's where I would take Tua.
I think he should have gone to a good team like
go
the
to the Chiefs.
Like I said,
Chiefs need a backup quarterback.
Go be a part of a successful team for 1 year. Don't play, get healthy, and then there's always going to be a team that needs a quarterback. That'll never change. Like this year was kind of dry in terms of his market. Desperation can set in, So I don't know. I personally think he made a very kind of silly move there. Yeah. Let's go to the running back position. The top one that came out pretty quick after free agency started with Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, which they desperately needed. And also the Chiefs desperately need to remember to run the football outside of anything else. Mm-hmm. I think they got to be a little careful. Kenneth Walker didn't have a huge workload the last few years, and partially because he shared that with Zach Charbonnet, but also because he got hurt a lot when they did give him a lot of the carries. So as a KW3 fantasy owner, it was frustrating throughout the season to watch him run 70 yards down the field, and then Zach Charbonnet just moonwalks into the end zone for 2 yards. But this was a big upgrade needed for the Chiefs. I mean, I think Kareem Hunt was their leading rusher the last 2 seasons, which is the grossest thing I think I've ever heard in my entire life. Mm-hmm. He's old, slow, and gross. And now they actually have a top-of-the-line running back. It's all going to come down to mentality for the Chiefs, though. Just signing a guy is just a proof of concept to me. I mean, they have at times, and especially last season, completely abandoned the run. I mean, they just do not call run plays. Maybe you could say it's because of the talent, right? Isaiah Pacheco fell off a cliff in terms of talent the last couple seasons. I mean, a shell of that big Super Bowl performance that he had. He has done nothing since. Absolutely nothing, in my opinion. And now you're getting what I believe to be one of the best running backs in the league. I think in some levels he was held back. You're a Zach Charbonnet fan. I'm not. I think Zach Charbonnet stinks like rotten eggs. And when this guy runs, and he had a bunch of yards, obviously won the Super Bowl MVP, I think he can be one of the best backs in the league. He's so elusive. You blink and he gets like a 15-yard run. So I think this is not only a good signing for the Chiefs, but absolutely necessary signing for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised when I woke up and it was the first thing that I saw on my phone. I think it was literally the first move that was made in free agency, which shows
Yeah.
you the desperation level with which the Chiefs went after getting a top tier running back. I like KW3. I don't love this move as a Chief fan at all. I really wanted Travis Etienne. I think the recency bias of the Super Bowl performance pushed this move into Kansas City. He doesn't catch great. He doesn't pass protect that well either. And look, you're going to a place where the coach just absolutely refuses to run the ball. I mean, it looks good on paper, but like, let's be honest, the biggest problem with Kansas City Chiefs for the last couple of years, and a lot of you guys are going to come for me for saying this, but it's true. The biggest problem with Kansas City Chiefs is Andy Reid. It's Andy Reid, okay? Because he's had so much success that no one's going to question a thing he does. You know, you could build a statue for the guy because he's just brought you so much. But when you look carefully, the guy just refuses to run the ball. Now, maybe it's because Kareem Hunt is old and slow and fat, and Isaiah Pacheco is on a milk carton. Fine. But you're not helping your $500 million investment, which is Patrick Mahomes. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes is your leading rusher, you are doing it wrong. And this is happening week after week after week. You should be trying to make some kind of change, coach, and you didn't. You had Brashard Smith. You barely played the kid. You barely played any of your rooks. I mean, everything that happened wrong with Kansas City this year, I'm putting it on the shoulders of Andy Reid. Andy Reid is the reason why Patrick Mahomes is hurt. It's just that simple to me. So you bring this guy in, you pay him a boatload of money. It's the big splash, and I get it. I'm a little still concerned about it because you win in the trenches, but hopefully you have this guy now. Will you use him? You know, it's like pointless to have a guy if you're not going to use him. If you deploy KW3 like you deployed your running backs last year, Patrick Mahomes is going to get hurt again. This is a guy that needs 25 carries. And we'll see what happens now that they have it. You know, like I said, I don't love the move. I don't hate the move. I'm still kind of on the fence about what the Chiefs are doing. A lot of Chief fans are in the realm of we can still make it to the playoffs and come back strong with a strong draft. I don't think so. I don't think this is a reset year for Kansas, or a reset year for Kansas City. This is a rebuild. This is a full-on rebuild. They got too many holes. They got not enough money, not enough
Yeah, their
picks.
pass space is a mess. That's their biggest
It's just
problem right
it's
now.
just a mess. And guys, honestly, what did you expect to happen?
It's
This
the
is what
price of
happened.
dynasties.
This is the price of a dynasty. This is what happened to New England, but you take your lumps for a couple years, and then 4 years from now, you're back in the playoffs, and look at Drake May. That is a disgustingly gross New England football team that went to the Super Bowl. So if it can happen for them, it could happen for the Chiefs. But this is
Yeah.
a good start. This is a good start. You get KW3 in there, and you let him be the K9 that we think we can all be in Kansas City. Fix that line, free agency in the draft, and pull and pray.
Yeah, New England's like an example, like to the extreme of a rebuild. They just had everything fall into place for them, but they were definitely a playoff team. You know what I mean? They
They're
just
a playoff
happened to
team.
get,
They're
they just
not a
happened to
Super
get the
Bowl
luck
team.
of the draw to go to the Super Bowl, but they rebuild. They had rebuild really quick. So
Yeah. Patriots always get that, man. They have always had the just the easiest playoffs to the Super Bowl, man. Go look at all the Super Bowl wins, man. It's ridiculous. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills that we've beaten 50 times in 50 tries. Like, they never played anyone good. And when they did, they jerked somebody. I mean, the Jaguars lost at home. I mean, in Foxborough, they had that game won, and the refs absolutely stole it from them. I mean, like, we can go on and on and on about like the things that we have watched New England get put in their lap to get to the Super Bowl, but that's neither here nor there. I like KW3. I just don't love it. I would have preferred Etienne. Pass blocks better, catches better, a little older, but I don't want a long-term deal. Give me a prove-it deal. Give me a 2-year deal. That's what I would have loved to see.
Yeah, Travis Etienne ended up signing. You know, he says his last name is pronounced Achan. You see that?
Really?
He did it on a press conference. I feel like he's trolling.
He's trolling.
I'm telling you, I'll have to send you the clip.
He's trolling.
He went to the Saints. Kind of a surprising move in
yeah.
a sense. I mean, obviously Alvin Kamara is gone. He's had issues ever since he beat the hell out of that guy in Las Vegas. I feel like I don't know if anyone remembers that story,
I
but he
remember we
absolutely
covered that in like depth.
badly, man.
Still
He
have the
beat the
pictures.
hell out of that
He
guy.
beat that guy to death.
And it's just been like an awkward career for him since he's around. No one really knows what he's doing, and so I guess they were just ready to move on. It's just kind of a lateral. It's not a lateral move necessarily for the Saints, but like, did the Saints like number one need this offseason need to be like signing Travis Etienne? I don't know. They're such a strange team. They were so competitive last year. And so it's just kind of bizarre to watch what they do, like as an organization. They're always just off to the side, like running things, I feel so strangely.
Mm-hmm.
So while I can't say this is a bad move for them, it's also just kind of like a, okay, you know, I don't know. I don't know what else to describe, like, you know, him going there. It's good, I guess, but does it really change the dynamic and the trajectory of the New Orleans Saints? No. I feel like they're just going to get closer and closer to 500 by making these kinds of moves. Maybe that's what they want. They just want to keep building and winning games at home. You know, I think that they really like fielding as competitive as a team as every year. To their benefit, probably not. You know, I feel like if you want to rebuild, you got to be so bad like the Raiders. Like literally the next 10 years of the Raiders have changed trajectories because they like dedicated to being bad. The Saints are never doing that, and I feel like that's what's left them in purgatory for so long. It just feels like another purgatory move to me.
I feel like this is the move they had to make, though, Spence. And before we even get started, I just want to apologize to Tyler Shuck. I thought that was the worst draft pick in the last year's draft, and he proved me wrong at the end of the year, and he won me a fantasy title. He won me a fantasy title. And so, you know, they have their quarterback. They believe in Tyler Shuck. You have to have a competent running back, man. And he's a proven running back. He's not a guy who's in trouble. I like Etienne, man. I wanted him. And so you got a quarterback that can run, and now you got a running back that can run and protect your quarterback. This is not a bad move. I think they need to just cut Kamara, just be done with it. And I think they need to cut Kendre Miller too, man, and find another back in the draft because both those guys can never stay healthy. I think Kendre Miller has played 9 quarters of healthy football in 5 years. Why is this guy still on a team? Yeah. The Saints were competitive last year in a lot of games. They won and lost. Now they have a high draft pick. I like Carnell Tate to go alongside Chris Olave, and now you have yourself an offense, and you continue to build like you have been doing. I think this is a good move for them, man. I really do. You have to have a guy that can help take pressure off the quarterback. It is throw for show in the NFL, man, but if you want the dough, you have to run. And I like this move for the New Orleans Saints. I think they're on their way back. I think they're better than people think. I think they're going to be backdoor cover cash out kings like they were last year. I like what the coach has done with less. Guys, Olave had a better year than a lot of you guys are willing to give him credit for. They have decent tight end play. This is going to be a better team this year because of Travis Etienne. And it's not like they broke the bank to pay him. I would have taken Etienne over KW in a heartbeat. KW is always hurt, bro. Always hurt. Etienne is durable, man. He's a good player, and I think Jacksonville is worse for letting him go.
Yeah, they like Tootin, that guy from last year. I think that was their bet here. Kenneth Gainwell goes to the Buccaneers. Not too much to say, but he had actually had a pretty good year at the Steelers.
A very good year, but I just don't understand the move. I guess Rachaad White leaving. You know, you got to fill that role. So it's a lateral move for me. Good for him. He got his money, but Bucky's the guy. You know what I mean? Bucky's the dude. Problem is, Bucky never stays healthy either. So, yeah, these running backs, they get banged up, man. But I like Kenneth Gainwell. That was a good for him. Get your bread, son. One good year in the NFL could propel you to stardom. I know. And a fat paycheck.
Or propel you to retirement, really.
He was the best player on the Steelers last year. Let's not be, let's not cap about this. He was good.
Rachaad White in comparison went to Washington. I never know what Washington's doing.
Washington, man, they should draft Jeremiah Love and stop playing. You know what I mean? Rachaad White's not going to get you to the promised land. You've seen that over the last couple seasons. He's a nice player. That's all he is.
The kind of player that you pick up in training camp or something.
He's a jag, man. He's a jag. He's just a guy. He's nothing. He does not move the needle for anyone, but I guess that's what the Commanders do.
Rico Dowdle, he goes to the Steelers. He had a really good season last year. I don't know. One thing I worry about for guys like that in contract years is he played his. I guess I'm speaking to the character of him and that I don't really know the answer to, but those contract years are like pivotal points in these guys' lives, especially at those middle 20 years. I just don't know if he's going to be able to bring that same energy into the season. The Steelers, I think, made a lot of good moves. I mean, I think Rico is a upgrade in a sense from Kenneth Gainwell. Maybe not a significant one. I liked what he did last year. So I guess we'll have to see how it plays out. We'll have to see how Mike McCarthy works out in Pittsburgh. Obviously, their issue is they don't know who's playing quarterback for them. They made all these great moves.
We know he's just going to hamstring you until like literally training camp starts tomorrow, and then he's going to announce it like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ. I cannot stand Aaron Rodgers. Okay, the day Aaron Rodgers retires, I'm going to throw a party for us all, bro. The NFL needs to be freed from this guy. I'm so sick of Aaron Rodgers. He's horrendous. I would play Will Howard on one leg over Aaron Rodgers because I just don't want that guy I just don't want him anywhere near my team. No team with Aaron Rodgers on it is destined to win anything. Anything. And as far as Rico Dowdle's concerned, the guy had 2 big blow-up games. Everyone picked him up in fantasy. It went absolutely wild. And then he was just kind of mid. You know what I mean? He's just kind of okay after that. It's a contract year. He gets his bread. But is he any better or different than Jaylen Warren? Guys, it's the same player. He's the same player. It's not like he's got soft, fluffy hands, so he's catching the balls that Kenneth Gainwell was catching. Dude, Kenneth Gainwell could have caught 100 balls last year. Is that who Rico Dowdle is? I just kind of feel like the Steelers were like, well, this is who's left. Let's take one of them. That's kind of what I feel happened. And I don't really feel good about this being a great move. He is a Steelers type player, workman-like, grind it out, bruiser. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. It's like if Rashad Mendenhall and Jerome Bettis had a baby, it'd be Rico Dowdle. That's kind of what it is. But I'm just not in love with this movie. I'm just not in love with the Steelers or anything that they're doing ever. The Steelers, to me, haven't been anything since Ben Roethlisberger retired. And I just don't think they're going to be anything until they get rid of Aaron Rodgers. But it's not a horrible move, and I'm happy he got paid.
Let's go to Tyler Algier. He goes to the Cardinals. I like Tyler Algier. Obviously, he's just playing behind like the best running back in the NFL, so it's kind of tough.
He's RB1.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be RB1.
He'll be RB1. James Conner is cooked.
He could be pretty good for fantasy, too. I feel Tyler Algier this year. Kind of a little early sneak pick. Yeah. Maybe not something everyone's going to be super pumped about, but I think he could potentially win you a fantasy league. He's never had the opportunity to be kind of their RB1 in a while. I think he was there for one season before Bijan, if I'm not mistaken. And they kind of kept both of them around. But, the Arizona Cardinals are going to run the ball 40,000 times a game and then hopefully not get an interception after every other pass. I think that's what they're going to play like. And I mean, the Cardinals trajectory is just abysmal next year, but
that offense is so gross.
They just want to play it really slow, man. They're just going to hand the ball to Tyler, to James Conner, and just hope they can get close enough for a field goal. I mean, that's what it feels like on face value. And I mean, I guess for fantasy purposes, especially if you're in a half-point carry PPR, something like that, I think Tyler Algier is going to be really valuable. And I think he'll end up having a pretty good season on a Cardinals team that will probably have 2-3 wins.
I like Algier too. It's going to be a different kind of team because they're going to be down in so many games. You know what I mean? Their over-under is 3.5 or 4 wins. You know what you're getting with Jacoby Brissett. They're just going to double that tight end to death. I mean, they're going to be bad. So, his numbers could kind of not be what we're all expecting. James Conner getting hurt over-under is 6 games. So this is more of an insurance policy than a 1,000-yard rusher type deal. But I like it. Arizona has to show their fans something. And now this allows Bijan to go to the moon. So I don't hate it. I'm a Bijan fantasy, dynasty. I have shares of him a lot. So I was happy to see Algier go because, I'm tired of seeing my running back get vultured. Now him and James Conner can slug it out for who can stay healthy and go from there. Good move for them, though.
All right, let's go to the wide receiver position. Alec Pierce is one of the first dominoes to fall out pretty early. He got $1 gazillion with the Colts along with Daniel Jones.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess he earned it, so good
for
him.
Did he, though?
I think his average reception was like 21 yards or something crazy like that. And, he had his breakout season. The Colts are just like that. They just if you play really hard for the team, they want to reward you with a big contract. So that's just kind of how they run their organization. And I guess he's no different. They want to run it back like last year. In their minds, it's just going to be exactly the same. I don't know.
Don't get me wrong, man. He's a good player, but that contract's bananas.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like teams catch lightning in a bottle. It felt like that for the Colts, and when it gets broken, it shatters. Kind of felt like that way with the Raiders with Michael Crabtree that year, where they were going on what I consider to be a Super Bowl run. I think they were that much lightning in a bottle that year before Derek Carr snapped his leg. I just have that. I'd have an eerie feeling that it's exactly like the Colts. I have a feeling that they're going to think, how good they were last year. Let's bring everyone back and do it again. And I just have this feeling it's not going to work the way that they think it is. Yeah, he got a massive contract. So,
yeah, I mean,
the Colts could be in big trouble, man. They could be in massive trouble with what they did this offseason.
Well, Daniel Jones coming off the ACL and getting even more money again. I mean, Daniel Jones is the new Kirk Cousins. I mean, they just keep.
His agent deserves 50% of Daniel Jones' salary.
They just keep paying the guy, and he's not going to be running as much, And so, I mean, the connection between him and Pierce is there, but you're paying a guy how many millions of dollars to catch the ball 3 times a game and hope one of them is a 50-yard bomb? I mean, the last white wide receiver to go ham was Cooper Kupp. Alec Pierce is no Cooper Kupp. He's your number one now. Josh Downs is just a specialist. I mean, the winner here is Tyler Warren. That's who the winner is. But I just can't believe they gave the guy that much money. I mean, he's good, but he's not great. If you're expecting Alec Pierce to lead your wide receiver room, I think you're going to be sadly mistaken. And only the Indianapolis Colts would have paid him that money. The Chiefs would have never given him that money. The Steelers would have never given him that money. I mean, Pittman to Pittsburgh is actually a slept-on move. I like that. It might actually help DK Metcalf be okay and not be such a bum. I don't know. Alec Pierce is not worth what they're giving him, but good for him, man. Get your bread. They're now saying they're going to open it up and 7 to 10 targets a game to justify that contract. That's what you're going to have to give him. And I need to see 10 touchdowns. I need to see 10 touchdowns, and I'm just not so sure you're going to see that. I mean, this is Alec Pierce, okay? A guy that 2 years ago, nobody really knew who he was. Nobody. It just goes to show how recency bias can play into you getting paid. All you need in an NFL, guys, is a body of work of 10 games where you go crazy, and someone is going to write you a check. It's absolutely horrendous. There is only one other free agent signing to me that was worse than this, and we'll get to it here shortly.
Yeah, let's go to I don't have too much to say about Rashid Shaheed personally. He got traded there. He didn't really do much, and I guess we'll see it with an offseason kind of what he potentially could trade.
And they need to open up the playbook for him more than just kick returns and punt returns. Shaheed can play, man. They need someone that's going to take the pressure off JSN, because I'm telling you right now, the Rams are coming for JSN. They are coming for him. They are not letting what happened this year happen. I mean, regression candidate number 1 is going to be JSN. He'll be good, but they need someone else to help, and I think that's why they kept Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the bigger moves this offseason was Mike Evans to the San Francisco 49ers. Although,
God.
Sending Mike Evans to a radioactive practice field, I feel like is not going to be good for his health, man.
This is not
he's
a
had
good
some
move.
Unhealthy seasons, and now he's going to the injury
Mike Evans
should
have retired a buck. I just don't get it. You're 33 years old and you give him a 3-year deal, guys. Do you really think he's seeing 3 years of that deal? Now you're hamstringing Ricky Pearsall, who is a baller. I know he can't stay healthy, but if he can get it together, he's a baller. Juwan Jennings, eventually, you'll get back, Kittle, but Tongas is very nice. I mean, problem with the Niners is they just can't stay healthy, and now you bring in another corpse of a guy who can't stay healthy. I mean, I could see it now, man. He goes deep and his hamstring blows up, and then he's out. I mean, I'm not wishing it on the guy, but it's just radioactive 49ers. It's just what they do. I like it for a 1-year prove-it deal. I do not like it for a 3-year deal.
Well, obviously the 49ers think that they're going to go to a Super Bowl. And
they can. They're a dark horse. They can. Good guys, if you get a fully healthy 49er team, if George Kittle comes back and he's half of what he was and everyone else stays healthy, the Niners can beat the Seahawks. It's the Rams that I'm worried about. The Rams are my pick right now to win the Super Bowl next year.
49ers re-signed Dre Greenlaw too. That was a shocking release by the Broncos. So
I know.
They'll be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. I don't know. Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans. I'm not really picking up what.
That's not a horrible move.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I felt like the Titans spent to spend.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I mean, they needed to. Like, there's cap floors.
They spent a lot of money.
A lot of money too, but
a lot of money.
I don't.
They're showing their fans in good faith that they're trying hard to build around Cam Ward. And the cherry on top here is they're going to get Jeremiah Love. And they're going to be a decent offense. That's what's going to happen. Love
they were desperate,
and Pollard. Dude, if Jeremiah Love is not a Tennessee Titan, what are we doing? What are we doing? Seriously, you think Tony Pollard's going to move the needle? I know he had a couple good games at the end of the year. That's because it's all garbage time stats. It's horrible. Tony Pollard does not move the needle at all. You get Jeremiah Love in here, who could be like a really, really good NFL running back. I mean, the guy's comp is Jahmyr Gibbs. You're at 4. That's your guy. Send the ticket now. That should be your guy. But I don't love Wan'Dale Robinson, but it's not. I don't hate it either. He catches a lot of passes, man. And that's what they need. They need someone who can just catch underneath.
They had nothing last year.
Nothing last year, man. Wan'Dale Robinson is like Jerry Rice to them. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
That's not it's not as bad a move as people are making it out to be.
Romeo Doubs went to the New England Patriots. Probably
ridiculous. How is Romeo Doubs getting $20 million a year? How? Guys, how?
It's another kind of desperate Patriots team. Their wide receiver core.
That's absolutely disgusting. That's one of the worst signings for me. You could have gotten anybody else for less. I mean, I know Dobbs catches touchdowns, but there's just guy. Don't forget now. Here's a guy that was pouting and throwing tablets because he wasn't seeing The Rock a couple of years ago, and they suspended him for conduct detrimental to the team. And then he's running around with this stupid helmet that he has on. I mean, you think this guy's going to come in and be a great number one just because you got rid of Diggs? You're a run-first team. That Patriot team, guys, Drake May has seen his last Super Bowl. Drake May, Joe Burrow, these guys are never seeing another Super Bowl. You can write this down. Guys, you could tattoo this on your body. It's not happening. And I don't love this move. Not for $20 million. That's a lot of bread for our wide receiver who has never been the number one wide receiver on his team, who has never been clutch, and who has a head case worth of problems that he's now bringing to New England. I don't like him for $20 million. I like him for $18 million. I like him for $16 million. I like him on a prove-it deal, but a long-term 4-year deal, that's absolutely ridiculous. You should have just kept Diggs, man. You know what I mean? Keep Diggs for another year and deal with his headache for a 1-year deal and then go after someone else next year. That's a lot of money for a guy like Romeo Doubs. I'm sorry. That's a horrible contract as well.
Jalen Naylor is probably the only super-duper notable wide receiver. He went to the Raiders, so
that'll be good for you guys.
Yeah, pretty good. I think he'll be interesting. I think he's just kind of a piece of the puzzle for them.
Well, you got no wide receivers, man.
Yeah.
Deontay Thornton, Jack Bash, these guys are just Jags. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they never even got in the field. And when they did get on the field, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Between the two of them, did they score a touchdown? Seriously, though, you know what I mean? Naylor at least has some vision and can catch. He had a nice year in Minnesota. That's a good pickup for the Raiders. You didn't break the bank for him.
Yeah, that was the best part about
The
it.
Raiders, you know what the Raiders need? And I'm going to just put it out there, and I hate to say it, but it's true. The Raiders need A.J. Brown, man.
I know.
That's what
Well,
the Raiders need.
what I was hoping is the Max Crosby trade would go through and they could use maybe I would have
Those
given up
picks.
the Ravens first round pick for AJ Brown
Yeah.
personally. So,
Yep. And now A.J. Brown's probably going to go to the Rams, man.
they're
You know
asking
what I
for
mean?
more than a first round pick, and I just think the Eagles are being greedy, to be
They're
honest.
being greedy, and they need to be
should be
greedy.
They
They
should be
need-
happy to get a first round pick for AJ
Yeah,
Brown.
but the problem is now you have a huge hole in your wide receiver room that can't be filled by the Slim Reaper by himself. It's either Dallas Goedert or A.J. Brown. And any day now, he's going to go to the Rams. Why? Because Les Snead doesn't care about picks, man. F them picks. He won't have a
haven't had one in a
first-round
long time.
pick. Dude, Les Snead is fine with not having a first-round pick to 2050 if it means win now. They want their own version of a mini dynasty. They got one with Stafford. They want another one before he retires. And they're going to get a quarterback in there that he can tutor after him. And they're going to want another one after that. They don't care about picks. They care about winning. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with losing for long periods of time if it means win now. And they're in a win now window. Puka on one side. Are you kidding me? A.J. Brown on another side. What? Stop this. Dude, stop. They could get rid of Devontae Adams at that point. They don't care. Or even they keep him. And then your backfield's set, your quarterback's set, your tight end's set, your defense is set, head coach, GM, owner. Dude, Rams to the moon this year. That's where I want to see A.J. Brown go, because if my team's not winning it, I want a team like the Rams to win it. I don't want to see an AFC team win the Super Bowl. NFC, stand up. Keep winning. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, the tight end position. Kate Otton's been pretty good for the Bucks. Nothing too much to say there. I mean, good for him. He got paid. He did his job, and I guess the more interesting one, especially all things considered now, is Isaiah Likely going to the Giants.
Love that.
I mean, it's kind of funny that Harbaugh worked so hard to re-sign Mark Andrews to a deal, and now they couldn't afford Isaiah Likely, who I think is better than him at this point in their
He
careers.
is. Maybe he was playing chess and knew he was going to be
That's what I'm
gone.
saying.
And and was like, as soon as I end up on another team, now I'm going to go get my guy. Guys, I'm telling you right now, Isaiah Likely has the potential to be a top 5 tight end in this league. I was at opening day banner drop for Kansas City, Baltimore. I was witnessed this with my own eyes. And that Kansas City secondary was a decent secondary coming off a Super Bowl win, okay? Dude, he torched them. They had no answer for this guy. And if he had on a pair of white cleats, the Ravens would have won that game. He eviscerated the Kansas City secondary. The guy can catch. He's an okay blocker, and he moves the needle. I'm telling you right now, the two teams that I'm watching with a level of enthusiasm this year that I'm not watching my own team with is the Carolina Panthers, 1, and the New York Giants. Take the over for the Giants, because the Giants are going to be a good team. They're not a playoff team yet, but they got the coach, and now they're getting the players. The defense is good. They're on their way back, I'm telling you. Watch the Raiders too, man. The Raiders are going to be making some noise here too, man. I like what those 3 teams have done. They are tired of being perennial doormats, and they are on their way back. Isaiah Likely is going to move. Isaiah Likely is going to be what they thought Darren Waller was going to be. Now, is he going to be Jeremy Shockey? No, that's not who he is. But he's going to help take some pressure off Neighbors, and he's going to be their number 2 receiving option. Dude, the Giants are in good shape. Just don't let Jackson Dart get killed. Stop running Scatterbo into a field of 10 defenders, and the Giants are going to be just fine. You watch. You heard it here first, guys. Take the Giants overs next year. Big Blue is back.
Yeah, not too much other tight end news necessarily. Okonkwo went to the Washington Commanders. Pretty decent move. I mean, it's just,
I don't understand why they don't let Ben Sinnott touch the field. To me, that's a waste of money. Ben Sinnott signed and ready to play. I think he could be every bit as good as Chiggy Okonkwo, who's done nothing really outside of have a cool name and catch a couple touchdowns in Tennessee. Seriously. Like that. Why? Like, Washington is just one of those teams that if I was a Commanders fan, I'd be beating my head against the wall, because nothing this team ever does makes any sense.
yeah, let's go to the offensive tackle position. Carolina Panthers made a lot of smart moves this
Mm-hmm.
offseason. I don't think
Yeah.
Rasheed Walker is top of the line, top 5 left tackle or whatever, but those don't just exist. So you have to find a starter at the position. And
Is
I
Ike
think it helps a
Ekwonu
lot.
still there? Ekwano's still there, right?
Maybe they'll play him at the other
They
end.
might play him at right tackle. Ekwonu was pretty good for them. I mean, whatever it is, they're making it clear that Bryce Young's their guy and they're going to protect him, which is another reason why I really like Carolina.
I think
And
it's
they
only
let-
a 1-year deal for Walker.
1 year
too,
prove it
so.
deal, yeah. I mean, you still got Chuba, who was a baller, who got hamstrung because Rico Dowdle had 2 good games. I'm telling you, Tet's going to make another move. Coker's good. You watch Carolina have a good draft too, man. They're a playoff team.
Yeah, Jermaine Elmanure, who played for them last year. Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. A lot of these, it wasn't a big, I would say, offensive line free agency class, other than Tyler Lindenbaum, obviously. Other than that, it's just guys who are going to fill a role.
You overpaid for Tyler Lindenbaum, but I understand the vision behind it. And it's like this: you have to protect your quarterback. You're going to take Mendoza.
And you can overpay when you have a rookie quarterback too.
Not only that, man, the Raiders have more money than the Franklin Mint. You know what I mean? It's like we laugh about how they overpaid, but like when we do these dynasty drafts, when we do these, these drafts that we have in fantasy, and we're overpaying for our guy because we want our guy, and no one cares because I want my guy. You know what I mean? It's the same thing here in the NFL. Look, we want our guy, and in order to get our guy, we're going to have to overpay. Who cares? I got the money. I want it. I got it. And I like it because, you got to win in the trenches, and next to Creed, he's the best.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Braden Smith. I think the Texans are just super desperate. He's been hurt for the last 2 years, and they're just hoping for the best here.
I just don't understand why they got rid of their left tackle. That still makes no sense to me.
I know. Man. Laramie Tunsil's just
Tunsil's. Why'd you send Tunsil to Washington? Like, I just don't understand it. I mean, that's a team that can go to the Super Bowl too, but they got to protect C.J. Stroud. I mean, C.J. Stroud has been bad, okay, but I'm willing to give him a kind of a pass because if you look at their line has not helped him. Okay, they haven't helped him. I mean, the minute they got rid of Tunsil, it all started going south. One of those head-scratching moves that make no sense to me.
Yeah, the rest of the offensive line when it comes to tackles are just kind of guys. I guess we'll see where Taylor Decker goes. He probably has one good season left in him at least. So
I think he's going to stay retired. Yeah, I think he's going to retire.
He definitely might. Yeah, center position. Obviously, Tyler Lindenbaum was one of the biggest free agents out there this entire class, and the Raiders secured him pretty early on. Pretty amazing. It tells you how much money the Raiders have that they can sign him to the biggest contract and then also still retain Max Crosby and have money left over. Yeah. They had a ton of cap coming into it, and yeah, they overpaid for him, but it was to secure him. No conversation, right? You didn't hear him talk to any other team. It's like, hey man, we're going to give you more money than anyone else this entire offseason is. So, not to say that he didn't necessarily want to be here. It's like, but at the same time, it's like you don't have a choice, buddy. You're going to sign the dotted line here. You're going to become the highest paid offensive lineman by a wide margin.
Yeah, and the Raiders are desperate. No. Raiders are desperate.
And Jackson Powers-Johnson can slide to guard. The left side of the line is now good, I would say. I would even go as far to say good. I think Colton Miller will be back healthy next year. He kind of had an injury year last year. Jackson Powers-Johnson's going to be back and healthy next year. You have him at center. And so when it comes to the Raiders, you kind of have to figure out the right side of the line still a little bit, but at least they have a foundation. I mean, good Lord.
You got picks and you got money. This time last year, you had a brown paper bag, and there was nothing in it. I think the Raiders won free agency, quite frankly. I don't know why I'm excited for the Raiders. Maybe it's just with the AFC West in me. I'm just tired of seeing them be bad. A rivalry's not a rivalry when one team wins 19 games and the other team wins 3. Get it together here. You're finally understanding what it takes to be competitive in NFL, and it all starts with getting someone like Brady in the building, then getting a head coach like Kubiak. You already have the owner and the GM. You got the DC. Now you're gonna go out and get Fernando Mendoza. You have Brock Bowers. You got Ashton Gente. Now you get Lindenbaum. Whether you keep Crosby or still deal him, it's a moot point at this point. Like literally, like everything that the Raiders did, I liked. And I'm not supposed to like it as a Chief fan, but like I'm an NFL fan first, man. And I watch my team do what the Raiders are doing, and they won 3 Super Bowls and went to 5 and 7 years. Like, this is what it takes. Stink to be bad. Get a couple good players. You must have a franchise quarterback. I'm telling you guys out there that think Fernando Mendoza's not going to be good, you guys are out of your mind. The guy has literally come off the storybook franchise style college football season. I mean, like, after winning the national championship, the guy could just go to heaven at that point. Like, people dream. Like, when you're a kid and you're throwing the Nerf around in the backyard, that's what you're thinking about. I want to be a quarterback one day. Like, that guy's last 15 months is what you're thinking about. And he is NFL ready. I'd put that boy on the field right now and start him. Here's the playbook, son. I would send him the playbook now before we even draft him. I'm like, son, what do you think of these plays? For real. Forget tampering, man. There's ways around all of that. That's your guy. Go get him and turn him into a stud. Protect him at all costs. I'm telling you, the Raiders are going to make a playoffs. They're going to win a game here soon. I really believe that.
Yeah. Elijah Vera Tucker signed with the Patriots. I thought that was a really good move.
That's a good move.
I think he missed last season, but not.
That's a very good move.
Something. It wasn't anything crazy. I remember his injury was. So he's only 27. I think that was really smart by them. David Edwards. I don't have too much to say after this. It kind of falls off a cliff pretty badly, but David Edwards will be a good starter for the Saints. So I think pretty smart there. Everyone else is just kind of guys. They're just dudes. Edge rusher Jalen Phillips. He goes to the Carolina Panthers. This is the
one that I was talking about. This is the other ridiculous contract that went out. Dude, are you kidding me? How much money did they give this guy, Spencer? 120 what?
Come on. 4 years, 120.
Good
he had
Lord.
like 3 sacks last year, I think.
How did this guy get paid? Him, Alec Pierce, and Romeo Dobbs somewhat, to me, are highway robbery. Highway robbery. How did this guy get this money? Seriously, like, someone explain it to me. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. How did this guy get 4 years, 120? Absolutely disgraceful.
Production does not meet the value there at all.
He was okay with Miami. Then he went to what? Philly? Had a sack and a half, shared a couple sacks, and they got 4 for 120. Stop the madness, man. I'm sorry. That's a horrendous. This guy literally now has to have 12 to 15 sacks every single year to justify this contract for 4 years. And I'm telling you right now, I don't think he'll see 2 years of this contract because the guy gets hurt more than my grandmother when she falls. Stop it. This is one of the worst contracts I've ever seen. And the thing is about it, Spencer, is that I like the guy. I would have taken him on my team, but not at that price tag. That is absolutely ridiculous. You know what he is? He's buying Gatorade at an airport. It's worth $1, but you're going to pay $7.50. He's a slice of pizza at the airport. Absolutely horrendous signing. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, this was the most suspicious offseason move, obviously, by a very, 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 very wide margin.
Horrible.
Trey Hendrickson signs with the Ravens. This trade falls through with the Raiders. Supposedly, it's about Max Crosby's knees, which everyone knew was a problem when they made the trade. They knew what they were getting into. They were talking to Trey Hendrickson as Max Crosby was in Baltimore in the building, in the offices above his head. They were negotiating a deal with Trey. And supposedly the front office story is that they were going to have both of them at one point. Yeah, right, you bunch of dingo bats. You're lying out your ass. That's such a horrible lie. And so once they got the deal done with Trey, they're like, well, we can get a good edge rusher and not have to give up 2 first-round picks for him. They're a bunch of losers. No one does this. There's nothing in that report that they didn't already know when they're looking at the medicals. All you need to know is that they were negotiating the contract on Tuesday with Trey the same day that Max Crosby was in the building to finalize the trade. I hope they get blackballed. I would do no business with the Baltimore Ravens if I was them. This is the biggest trade in NFL history to end up getting pulled out. And Yeah, I think that's very indicative of the Ravens. They're just too afraid to do anything serious, and they're not a serious football team.
And you heard, and this is coming from a Raider fan, you guys. So I mean, I know a little bit about the Crosby deal, but like, at what point do we like have to understand that this is just bad business for the Ravens? This is bad business. I'm sorry. Okay, everyone knew that Max had surgery. Okay, and he failed a
Month
physical.
ago.
Okay, okay, fine. But now, within like 12 hours, Hendrickson is now in the fold, guys. I cannot wait for the Baltimore Ravens to go 14-3, for them to give Lamar the MVP, to have a home field advantage throughout, and lose at home to the 6th seed. I can't wait, because that's exactly what's going to happen, because NFL karma is real, and this is just bad business, man. That's a horrendous. That pullout game, it's not strong. I know it looks good. I know you're galvanized about it. That's not cool, man. It's not good. It's just not. It's bad business. And I get wanting to win. I want to win. We all want to win. But then there's winning shady. Okay? I mean, that's something that I would expect from the New England Patriots. I wouldn't expect that from the Baltimore Ravens, man. Come on. What is that? You're telling me that all of a sudden Max Crosby's need is that bad that he pulls out? I'm sorry. That's bad business. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm still trying to move Max. I'm moving Max to Dallas, and I'm taking max value. I'm taking Dallas for everything they can. Everything. I want every nickel, because in my mind, Max does not fit the plan for what the Raiders are trying to do. By the time the Raiders are good, Max is going to be washed. Get picks. That pick that you would have gotten from Baltimore, that was Carnell Tate. You want that pick. Get Dallas for all you can. Get those picks. And then, guys, we're all rooting against Lamar and Baltimore. I hate Lamar even more now. I hate Baltimore even more now. I never really had a problem with them. I just think Lamar's overrated and not what people think he is. But now I really can't stand him now, because that's just not how you do things. And as far as Trey Hendrickson is concerned, at 31 years of age, who really hasn't done much in a while except complain, I hope he has a miserable season and just takes them for every nickel too, man. I can't stand everything about how this went down, and it's not a good look.
Yeah, I feel like we can kind of fly through the rest of these edge rushers. I have them kind of in the same tier. Owe, Mafe, Quiddy Pay.
All good players.
They're all
guys, good players. All good players.
All 27 years old. Yeah,
all got overpaid. Owe got overpaid. Mafe overpaid. The edge rushers in free agency, they all cashed out because they're good players. Okay, especially Owe and Mafe, the two that I was really looking at. They're good guys. They're good players. They're not great players, and they got paid like they're great players. Okay, you need to be 12 to 15 sacks to get that kind of money, and they're just not that. They're disruptors, but they're not. Your quarterback is not getting carted off the field because of those guys, and that's what kind of money you paid them to be.
Yeah, I thought Quiddy Pay was okay, especially because we thought we had lost Max Crosby, and now I guess they're going to be paired, which I think will end up being kind of decent for him. So we'll have to see how that kind of plays out. It should be pretty interesting. Let's go to. I mean, there was a lot. Raiders. I don't think the Raiders would have re-signed Malcolm Kuntz had they known about the deal. But what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Defensive line didn't really have anybody. Not of anyone of major note. John Franklin Myers goes to the Titans. It's just another one of those picks where they're just desperate to improve on.
Have anybody.
He was out there. He was like the only one, and so they got him. So good for them. Everyone else are just kind of like these older guys, like hoping to get a spot in the league still. Linebacker, this was one of the bigger moves outside of this. I feel like we're kind of inching our way towards the end of free agency here. Devin Lloyd was like probably one of the biggest free agents left.
It's a good signing.
And he went to Carolina. Really
good
smart.
signing.
Fact,
I'm telling you.
The Jags are stupid for letting Devin Lloyd go.
Jags are going to regress. There's two teams that are going to regress mightily this year. The Jaguars are going to be one, and the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks are going to be the other. They're just not going to be as good, man. Losing the players that they're losing, they're just not. They have to hit on big-time players in the draft, and they're not going to have high picks because they were really good last year. Watch them. I'm taking unders on both teams.
No, definitely. And let's see. I don't think there's anything too crazy in the secondary. Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker both go to the Raiders, which is pretty cool. They both played for Georgia. I'm excited. I mean, the Raiders were literally running Devin White and Jamal Adams out that
Those are
linebacker.
no, those are good additions for Vegas. I think they're more names than anything. I think Dean really didn't live up to his potential with the Philadelphia Eagles. I remember draft day when he fell to them. We were all like, "Wow, I can't believe a guy this good has fallen." And he then just never really lived up to it. Walker, I like a little bit more. I just think Vegas, they nailed this. They nailed free agency. I mean, I was talking to Rob the Raider about this too. When you have guys coming to a sunny place like this where there's no state tax and so much going on and so much to do, I mean, Las Vegas, like for all intents and purposes, has become the new mecca of the United States. It ain't New York anymore, man. New York is an absolute toilet. And places like San Francisco don't offer as much. The Rams don't need you. But Vegas, man, newer stadium, fans will watch you and travel even though you're not in Oakland anymore. I mean, if I was a free agent out there looking to, bang home a new deal, I'm going to Las Vegas and keeping most of my money because there's a vision. You have vision. Here comes Fernando Mendoza, our version of Mahomes. Like, you see the vision. We're going to get stronger in the trenches in free agency, and then we're going to draft a couple wideouts, and we already got Bowers and AJ. Like, it's there. Tom Brady's hanging around. Like, the vision is there. Like, the Raiders are going to go from being a cesspool of a team and a joke of a team to being a competent football team here soon. And so signing those two guys makes perfect sense and well done. I'm telling you, man, I give the Raiders an A+ on this draft. If I was a Raider fan, I'd been doing cartwheels last week. They really nailed us. They did a good job all the way down to the kicker.
Yeah, no kidding. Demario Davis is, I don't know, man. The Jets are just kind of a hilarious football team.
We're not
Devin
talking
Bush
about
is
the Jets.
okay. I mean, they lost Jermaine Edmonds. They wanted to get a little bit cheaper and hopefully get the same production. Yeah, cornerbacks weren't too much. I feel like the biggest one was the trade between the Chiefs and the Rams. Other than that, like Jamel Dean's pretty good. He's like okay. He ended up going to the Steelers, so good for them.
I want to talk about McDuffie
yeah.
a little bit here because a lot of people are sad to see him go, and I'm one of them. But let's be honest, because you have no money. Okay, you have no money. And while he was a beast in the Super Bowl and helped secure that W, here in Vegas over the San Francisco 49ers, last year he was very mid. He was very mid, and he became more of a glorified slot corner. He didn't travel as much, and he wasn't on the outside as much. And, that guy now, when it's time to get paid, is going to command $30 million. $30 million. When was the last time the Kansas City Chiefs and Brett Veach paid a D-back any money like that? I'll tell you, it was Eric Berry. And I didn't think that Eric Berry was worth 5 years, $55 million. And that was back then. The Chiefs developed cornerbacks and safeties better than anyone in the National Football League. So for all you guys that are crying about this, the Chiefs won this trade going away.
Yeah, L'Jarius C just got cut by the Titans, by the way.
Dude, the Chiefs do not pay these guys for a reason. It always comes back to haunt the other team that gives them the big money. And I get that the Rams are going for it, and kudos to them. And like I said, they're my pick to win the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs now have pick number 9, pick number 29, pick number 40. Why would you want to keep a guy like McDuffie when you literally have no chance at winning the Super Bowl this year? You really don't. Chief fans that think the Chiefs can win the Super Bowl this year are nothing but homers. You're delusional if you think they have a shot. They do not. You're not even sure about Patrick Mahomes right now, and you think that this team can go to the Super Bowl? Guys, you got more holes than my underwear. Like, it's not happening. So you might as well reset, reload, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, because there's a ton of good DBs in this draft. A ton. The kid from LSU, that guy's going to be a Chief. Delano, whatever his last name is, dude, you get rid of McDuffie, it makes sense. And not only that, you guys' memories are so short. It's so funny. Some of you guys are such clowns, man. You argue with me online. It's so funny. What happened when everybody told me that Tyreek Hill going to Miami was the worst thing that could have ever happened to the Chiefs? I told all of you guys. It's on record. Go search World of Matchups and find the episode. I told the Chiefs are going to rebuild what they rebuilt the entire defense with those picks, man, and they won back-to-back Super Bowls. So look, if Brett Veach can do it once, I believe he could do it again. If for nothing else, he at least deserves to have faith from the fan base. And some of you guys are acting like this is the worst thing that ever happened. Guys, Trent McDuffie's not Deion Sanders. And Trent McDuffie is not worth $30 million. The Chiefs won this trade going away, and yes, only time will tell, but I want players. I want young players. I want strong players. I want fast players. And I want everybody from this old regime gone, man. Gone. Kelsey is the only one that deserves, in my mind, to still be here because he's earned the right to come back. Because all the guy has done is spit blood for the franchise. But everyone else, move him out. Let's suck for a little while. Let's retool, and let's get good again. But Trent McDuffie at $30 million is absolutely ridiculous in my mind, and I would never pay it. And kudos to you, Brett Veach, for not paying it and for trading the guy away. The rest of these cornerbacks in this class, none of them are worth really much, Spencer. You know what I mean? But $30 million? $30 million, man? For a guy that done travel, I'm sorry. The Chiefs won that trade going away, and I'll never back off that.
Yeah, the Rams really like the secondary for the Chiefs.
And then they went and got Jalen Watson from the Chiefs too. It's just Arrowhead West for them, which is, hey man, again, I like the Rams because I like Stafford. I think Stafford's the toughest quarterback not named Mahomes. So I love Stafford. If the Rams win a Super Bowl, I have no problem with it. I just don't want to see any AFC quarterbacks win. I just don't. I don't want to see Josh Allen win. I don't want to see Lamar Jackson win. The NFC can win the Super Bowl for the next 5 years until Mahomes is ready to win it again. I don't want to hear nothing about those guys thinking they're good enough to win a Super Bowl. Guys, because they're not. Because they're not. Because if they were, they would have won it this year. Rant over.
Yeah, you have Alontae Taylor, just another one of those Titan signings. It's just, I don't know. It's just a guy. I'm
just
not the biggest
guy.
fan of what the Titans did this offseason personally. Tyreek Woolen, I have no idea what to think of.
That's a horrible signing, man. But it's not really too bad because Howie Roseman plays checkers when other guys are playing chess. It's just a one-year deal. It's a one-year deal because the Eagles think that they now have to keep up with the Rams, which they do, because it's going to be the Rams, the Eagles, and maybe San Fran as the dark horse. I don't see Seattle coming back to form. So those three teams are going to fight it out, and that was the move that they had to make. They had to make that move. Blankenship is gone for nothing, for peanuts. You know what I mean? They had to bring the guy in. The guy's just a head case, though. He's Tyreek Hill, cornerback. He's a height. I mean, it's just a matter of time before he's choking out some baby mama somewhere or getting arrested. I promise you. I would put money on it that Tyreek Woolen is arrested this year. I would put money on it. I guarantee it.
On Polymarket.
Or there's a fight in the locker room and someone's swinging. Guys, it's coming. I think this year, honestly, could be the undoing of the Philadelphia Eagles because they put up with the head coach. They don't like Sirianni. They put up with him. If they end up keeping AJ, it's a ticking time bomb. It's going to be like Iran in the locker room. I'm telling you, I see it coming. And then you bring in another low-character clown like Woolen. It could be the downfall of the Philadelphia Eagles, who I personally don't think were that good last year, and they're not going to get better because their picks are going to be low. And Blankenship, that's a decent piece, man. That's a decent piece to lose for nothing. For nothing. $8 million? How do you not re-sign that guy? That's an absolute crime. What else we got?
Wright. I actually kind of liked.
I like Wright.
I think he'll be pretty good for the Jets. I thought that was one of their better pickups. The other ones I don't have anything too crazy. Joshua Jobe resigns with the Seattle Seahawks. Greg Newsome is pretty good too. I thought that was a pretty good signing for the Giants.
He's a good player. Giants, I'm telling you. Giants.
Everything else was pretty ho-hum. The safety position was actually pretty good. Brian Cook ends up going to the Bengals.
Had to go to a team that was willing to pay him. The Chiefs, again, they don't pay backs. They got all they could out of Cookie. Brought him 2 Super Bowls. His PFF numbers are better than I think his real play on the field, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Like, sometimes you guys got to understand that the eye test isn't always what the numbers line up to. But to go to a team like Cincinnati, who is just decimated defensively, that's a good move for Cincinnati. They also got Mafe, so I think that Cincinnati has made two really good moves to and show Joe Burrow in good faith that like we're at least trying, and we'll see what they do. The rest of free agency and in the draft. But to get him, I mean, he got paid. Brian Cook, what was his numbers? He got a lot of money from them, man. And I think he
Yeah,
was
3 year, $40 million.
yeah. I mean, what? Come on, man. I mean, he was just okay. He's just okay. Tackles well. Ball's in the air. He's okay. He's not really the ball hawk that everyone thinks he is. He's a good player, not a great player. He got great player money.
I thought the Chicago Bears were a little strange for getting rid of Kevin Byard off of the best year of his career and then going in on Kobe Bryant. To be honest with that, I think that was.
They know something we don't.
Yeah, because Kevin had an insane, like literally
a great year.
Career. I mean, he's 33, so fair enough. But I still think I'd rather just keep him around maybe one more year.
One more year, man. One more year and get Kobe. You know what I mean? Yeah. One more year and get Kobe. You have money. Bears are another team. Bears are going to be very good this year, man. Bears are making the playoffs. Yeah. Bears are a couple players away from going to a Super Bowl, if we're honest. Bears are a very good team.
We're a couple plays from going to the Super Bowl last year.
Bears are, I'm telling you, they are a team. Again, Raiders need to look at what the Chiefs did. Raiders need to look at what the Bears are doing. This is how you build a team. You got Joe Thuney in there to help protect their quarterback. They drafted Luther Burden, who's an absolute dog. I love Luther Burden, bro. They get rid of DJ Moore. You don't need that guy. Get him out of there. You know what I mean? Get him out of there. Go youth. Colston Loveland's going to go to the absolute moon this year, bro. They are a solid team. Just draft some defense, man, and we are on our way. The Bears are going to make a lot of noise in the NFL this year. You heard it here first, guys. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if the Bears go to the NFC Championship game because they can.
Yeah, and then you have Blankenship who went to the Texans, and that pretty much, I think, rounds things out for the most part. Really exciting for agency, man. That was a lot of moves. A lot
of moves, man. A lot of stuff happened very quickly. A lot of money getting pushed around. And there's still a lot of day 3, day 4, day 5 free agents out there. A guy like Cam Jordan who had 10 sacks, even though he's 36 years old, he's still available. There's a lot of guys like that. The Tyreek Hills. Where's Tyreek going to end up? There's a lot of guys like that are still available. It's not like the cupboard of the NFL free agent market is bare. It's not. Guys right now are falling back. They're dusting themselves off. They're looking at Spot Track. They're looking at their money. The GMs are in the meetings, and they're seeing this is what we still have to work with. Who can we now bring in that can help us? The Kansas City Chiefs are a team like that. Who can we bring in to help us have a year where we don't go 6-11 again? Because we're broke, but we're still the Chiefs. We still have Mahomes coming back. We want to be competitive. What can we do to help us? There's still quite a few teams out there like that, and there's still a lot of talent. And this is why the NFL is the best sport, because between now and draft day, you still have a ton of movement, and then draft day hits, and then before you know it, now it's time to hit practice squad, and we got, training camp, and then boom, we're here. It seems like it's so far away, Spencer, but it's truly not. And real fans know. People like you and me understand that the NFL is 24/7, 365, and what we're going through right now is every bit as important as what's happening draft day. And then what happens draft day is every bit as important as what's going to happen in training camp. And then when you see the finished product on the field as it evolves and works its way through the season, and all of a sudden, the best team doesn't always win, man. It's the team who has built it properly, who gets the team to gel properly at the right times, pulls it out. And that's why coaching is so important. That's why a guy like Eric Bieniemy, who I wasn't really excited about, because I just don't want retreads, man. But he was going to get Andy Reid to run the football. So in that case, maybe it does matter having him back. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of situations. We can just go team by team and talk about how, like, wow, we got this guy, we brought this guy in, and it's going to help this part of our team. I love it, man. I'm so excited. I was so excited to do this show. I couldn't wait to get on here and talk to you about this all day. So I'm super grateful to have you back. Final thoughts.
Yeah, the only thing I can really think of, and just a team that we didn't mention because they literally didn't do anything, is the Denver Broncos. Just asleep at the wheel. They're a broken ankle away from potentially going and winning the Super Bowl, and their follow up is a whole bunch of nothing. All they do is pretty much release Dre Greenlaw, and they're like, okay, we're good to go. That was kind of shocking to me.
They're set in their ways, though. I think they have what they need, and they have everybody under contract. And sometimes the best moves that you make are no moves. I think they're looking at the draft. I do think they need to upgrade at running back. Their defense is all world. I think they're going to win the AFC West here again. None of these other teams are good enough to challenge them defensively. And let's be honest, Bo Nix, guys, Bo Nix is better than we all have given him credit for. Some of us owe Bo Nix an apology. Some of us. Because he's good. He's a good quarterback. They can win with him. Guys, if Drake May and the New England Patriots can go to the Super Bowl, Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos can go to the Super Bowl. They just lost their leader at the wrong time. They would have gone to the Super Bowl, and it would have been a game. It would have been a game. But instead, we got what we got, which was not a whole lot. World of Matches bringing the heat. We're going to take another little break here, guys. We just wanted to bring everybody up to speed. Me and Spencer will look at what's next, what we want to do, the draft. We'll start
top 10 list.
We'll start, top 10 next. The top 10 list is next. Followed by full 1 through 32, and that like literally, guys. I mean, summer's coming. You blink your eyes, and then before you know it, like the leaves the trees are going to be turning a different color, and we're back. Okay. We're back. I know baseball is here, guys. Baseball sucks. Baseball is boring. Baseball is not what the NFL is. It's just not. It's good, but like if you expect anybody but the Dodgers to win the World Series, you're kidding yourself. In the World Baseball Classic right now, yeah, it's great. Hockey, yeah, Stanley Cup playoff hockey is great, but nothing compares to the NFL. Guys, I would rather watch what's happening free agent-wise and talk about this than do anything with any other sport. Period. I'd rather talk about a team I hate in the NFL more than watch any of this other stuff because the NFL is God. And that's why Roger Goodell, guys like Roger Goodell, will always be where he's at because they can charge $50 for a hot dog, $100 for a ticket, and people are still going to go. Yeah. They're going to go no matter what. They're going to pay for the package. Y'all say you're not going to pay for the package. Y'all pay for the package. You find a way to watch the games. You find a way. You don't do that for any other sport but the NFL. On behalf of World of Matches, I am Dexter Reid. On the other side of the glass, that is Spencer the Wiz. It's been a great show, Spencer. Thank you as always. Guys, enjoy, like, subscribe. Please share the information. Help us get out there. And we are OUT.
See you guys.
See you in a couple weeks.